Director Simpson.
Present.
Director Zambor.
Present.
President Herndon.
Present.
We have 9 board members present.
Thank you. The chair will now ask the secretary to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. The chair invites any members of the audience who wish to participate to do so and asks that those that do not wish to participate please remain silent during the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We acknowledge that Milwaukee lies on traditional Menominee, Potawatomi, and Ho-Chunk homeland along the southwest shores of Lake Michigan, part of North America's largest system of freshwater lakes. On this site, the Milwaukee, Menominee, and Kinnickinnick rivers meet, and the people of Wisconsin, Menominee, Ojibwe, Ho-Chunk, Oneida, and Mohican sovereign nations remain present to this day. This meeting is being conducted in person from the Central Services Building. In order to allow as much public access and participation as possible, this meeting is being broadcast via live stream on the MPS website and on the MPS YouTube stream, the links to which may be found on the MPS website on the broadcast page. Before we begin tonight's meeting, we have a short announcement regarding interpretation services for the Spanish-speaking members of our audience.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la Junta Escolar de las Escuelas Públicas de Milwaukee. Si desea escuchar esta reunión en español, por favor llame al 312-626-6799. Nuevamente, 312-626-6799 e introduzca el número de reunión 608-130-5362. Nuevamente, el número de reunión es 608-130-5362. Gracias.
Thank you. As was stated in the public notice, the board will not be taking testimony at this meeting. Just as a reminder, Robert's Rules of Order dictate that all comments should be directed to the chair of the committee. Also, any questions or requests, including those from the public, committee members, or the administration, are to be directed toward the chair, who will determine the most efficient way to address them. For the safety of all and to ensure the good order of the meeting, harassment or intimidation tactics of any kind will not be tolerated. Anyone who engages in such harassing or intimidating words or actions will immediately be asked to cease. If such behavior continues, a recess will be called and the offending parties will be removed from the meeting. Anyone ejected from the meeting may continue to listen to the meeting or access the agenda items online. However, the individual will not be allowed to rejoin the meeting. Also, no one other than members of the board, designated staff, and those who've been invited to present or participate in items of business will be allowed on stage before, during, or after meetings of the board and its committees. Finally, for our listening audience, if you wish to access the evening's agenda items and attachments online, you may do so by visiting the meetings, agendas, and minutes page of the MPS website. Madam Secretary, what is the item of business before us?
The item of business for the board's consideration tonight is action on a request to retire to closed session for consideration of and possible action on employment, compensation, and performance evaluation data relative to the board clerk, chief officer, Office of Board Governance, and the superintendent of schools. The recommendation is that the board retire to a closed session for consideration of this item.
At this time, I will entertain a motion to retire to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, paren 1, paren C, for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of the superintendent of schools and of the board clerk, chief officer, Office of Board Governance. Would anyone like to make the motion? Director Gokul Gandhi.
I move we retire to closed session.
Thank you. Madam Chair, do we need a second? Director Simpson?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Vice President Gokul Gandhi's motion, seconded by Director Simpson, to retire to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, parent C, for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of the superintendent of schools and of the board clerk, chief officer, Office of Board Governance. On the motion is read into the record. Director Carr.
Aye.
Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gokul Gandhi.
Aye.
Director Jackson.
Aye.
Director Leonard.
Aye.
Director O'Halloran.
Aye.
Director Simpson.
Aye.
Director Zomber.
Aye.
President Herndon.
Aye.
That's 9 ayes. The motion passes.
The board is now retiring to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, paren 1, paren C. The board may reconvene in open session to take action on matters discussed in closed session, or the board may adjourn from executive meeting. Madam Secretary, please note the time.
So noted.